Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Ramsey Show. This is the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Happy New Year! Are you ready? Yeah! Well, anything that puts those other 2 years in the rearview mirror is a good thing. Oh my gosh, we're loving it. 2022. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. How excited are you for 22?
I'm pumped. It definitely feels like a fresh start that we all needed. Even if it's just a temporal date on the calendar, it feels like, all right, let's start this thing over again. Let's see what happens.
I'm really good with just getting the eraser to the whiteboard. A clean whiteboard is a good playing for me. I can start fresh. I'm good with that. And the only good, with that much manure, you gotta have some growth.
Oh yeah.
So there's got to be some growth with the last 2 years of manure. So
there's a pony in there somewhere.
It's got to be, brother. Got to be. Well, open phones as we talk to you about your life, your work, your relationships, and your money. George Camel is again with me today as we answer your questions. We are excited. Baby Steps Millionaires, the book comes out next week. It is on pre-sale now. We'll be talking more about that as we go along. And back from the holidays, ready to work, ready to get things done. A lot of energy around this place today. We got almost 1,100 people at Ramsey, and they were all in their seats this morning for staff meeting, ready to go.
I was pumped to just get my coffee here. Just get back to some routine.
Oh, you don't have to pay for the coffee.
Exactly.
Here. Are you
free
cheap,
coffee.
George?
No, Dave. I just really like the coffee here. It's delicious, and it happens to be free.
Oh, that changes the taste.
But there is an element to getting back into routine.
The routine.
Waking up at a certain time. You kind of lose your sense of self after Christmas. So we're happy to help and take calls today.
That's it. I'm tired of being other people, so I'm not ready to be myself.
That's one way to put it.
Travis is going to start the year off from Asheville, North Carolina. Travis, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Better than we deserve, man. What's up?
I have a question for you. We are in baby step 6, and I made a purchase last month that I've been losing some sleep about because I can't decide if I did the right thing, and I tried calling in last month, and y'all were super busy. So I'm getting through today, and I'm either going to get a tongue lashing or some reassurance. I'm not sure, but I have a question about a vehicle I bought.
Okay.
So I was looking for a truck for months, like 2 or 3 months. I saved up cash, and with this crazy market, everything that I was seeing just seemed really high for a used truck. So I kept looking around, and I finally came across a deal a couple hours from me on the truck that I wanted. And it was actually a new truck that was going for about $3,000 less than the used trucks of the same year. Like I was looking at 2019, 2020 GMC Sierras, and they're going for around $55,000 for the truck that I wanted. And I came across a 2021 that was brand new with factory rebates that had it down to about $52,500, and it had to make a quick move just because of this crazy market. So long story short, I did end up purchasing it, even though it was new. And I know that, that's not what we do with the baby steps, but I'm wondering with this crazy market and the price, and the research that I did, if this did make sense, or if I should look to maybe get rid of it and get into something cheaper.
Well, I have a rule. I don't start the year with tongue lashings.
You caught him on a good day.
The first caller of the year, we can't do it. It's against one of the rules. And so, so you pay $50,000 for a truck. What do you make a year? Household income?
$150,000.
Okay. And what's your net worth today?
About $200,000.
Okay. All right. And $50,000 of it is in a truck going down in value.
Yes.
This is why we tell people not to buy new vehicles until you have $1 million net worth.
Really
1/4 of your net worth is going to be worth nothing in 5 years.
Right.
That's the problem with buying new trucks. I mean, if you're worth $1 million, you can afford to lose $50,000. If you're worth $200,000, $50,000 is a lot of your life. That's the only point. So it's not a tongue lashing. It's just an observation. Man, you're a grown man. You make $150,000 a year. You can go buy a truck if you want to go buy a truck. We're not going to be mad at you. We'll still be friends. Okay? So again, no tongue lashings at the first of the year. But you're right. That's why we teach people not to.
Yeah, and if I was Travis, I would have looked at a car that was, a few years older than that, and that's where you are going to find something at a cheaper price point. But when you look at a 2021 versus the 2022 and the used car market right now, I get that it's crazy, but I think, like you're saying, Dave, this is just a huge percentage of his world that's tied up in this depreciating asset.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this. You need to ask yourself when you're buying anything with wheels or a motor, if I set fire to it without insurance, after it finishes burning, is my life changed dramatically? When you lose 25% of your net worth if you set fire to it, that's pretty dramatic. You lose 5% of your net worth, it's not dramatic. It's a ratio thing for me. You can do what you want to do, but as long as you lean into depreciating assets being a large chunk of your world, things losing value that are being a large chunk of your world, then you're going to struggle with that. And I did the exact same stuff, Travis. I mean, we've all done it, but you knew better because you'd been taught, and you just figure out a way to rationalize it.
Well,
so,
he was saying if he had called
I wouldn't lose sleep over it. It's not going to cause you to go bankrupt. I'm not going to sit here and shame you. That's not the point. The point is the reason we teach not to buy a new car unless you're a millionaire is this exact reason. And it comes from an old thing when I got tongue lashed by my grandpa. I mean, he passed away now, but he worked 38 years at Alcoa Aluminum, head cost accountant there in Alcoa, Tennessee, down the mountains, East Tennessee. And I come wheeling up down there at 23 years old, 24 years old with $1 million net worth driving a Jaguar and a bunch of real estate debt coming out my ears just before I'm going broke, right? And I was all proud of my Jaguar. Well, Grandpa from East Tennessee didn't even know what a Jaguar was. He's like, what is this car? And I told him, and he's like shaking his head. He was not impressed. And he's like, what'd you pay for that? And I told him, and he just spit. And he
just
said,
out of disgust.
Yeah, he said, that truck over there didn't cost that. And I'm like, no, that truck over there cost $200, and it's not a fine European automobile, So I drove off all bothered that my grandpa was not impressed with my proud new purchase. And, of course, when he passed away, he had $1 million in money markets. And the reason he did was he didn't put it all in things. He goes, I said, well, this is a great car. I said, these things hold their value. And he started laughing. And he goes, ain't nothing holds its value with wheels on it, boy. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, it holds its value. He goes, I said, well, it's like an investment. He goes, my investments go up. Yours go down. There's a problem with this formula you're using, son. Did you go to college or what? It's that kind of thing, right? One of these conversations with your grandpa, right?
Nothing like
grandpa. But he just whipped my butt, man. Oh my gosh. Wow. Too much. This is the Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman.
George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Joy's in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Joy. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for taking my call today.
Sure. What's up?
Okay. I'm 46 years old, and about a year and a half ago, my husband committed suicide. So,
Oh, my.
I've had a kind of tough, last year and a half.
Yeah, I think. Oh, my.
But, yeah, and in the whole process of it all, we had gotten into the rental house business, and we had acquired, I think it was 15 properties at the time, and several of them were fixer-uppers. So we were kind of like in a mess. So when he passed away, I sold all of them but 10. I kept 10, to manage myself, and 5 of them are paid off, and the other 5 have, small mortgages. I think the total I owe on all 5 is $275,000. But every month they bring in $10,000, and $5,000 goes to the mortgage payment. So, I clear 5. And my question was, do I sell a couple now that the market is up and just pay off my house, or do I continue to manage them? Because I only have like 7 years left before they're all paid off. We had done 15-year loans back, in the day. So if I keep them and keep making the payments for 7 more years, that would be like a $10,000 a month income, secured income. Or do I sell 3 and lower my income to like $7,000 a month, but have my mortgage paid? Is that confusing?
No, it's not confusing at all. I'm just heartbroken for you. I'm sorry for what you've been through. It's tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. Oh, my
And
goodness.
I have 2 boys in college. One just finished, actually. And with that money, we've been paying their school so they don't have student loans. So it's good, for that also. And I'm also a nurse, and I work full-time. So.
Mm-hmm. So who manages the properties? You manage them?
I do, yeah. And I mean, we've had I've had renters in these houses, for years. And I think it's because I really haven't raised the rent on them. They've been there faithfully paying. And, I know I should be charging more, but I think it's almost better to have a renter in there that's good and long-term than having to keep, going in there, painting it, freshening it up, and trying to find another good renter, to rent them out again. So I just pretty much keep the rents lower. And, I mean, they've been there for years, these people, so.
What's left on your primary mortgage?
Well, I had to leave the house we were living in because it happened, in my last house. So I bought a house, and I currently owe $460,000 on it. My rate is at 4%. And the houses make the payment for me. The payment is like $2,600 a month, and the rent pays for that for me. So I mean, whether I sell the houses and pay off my mortgage or just sit here, someone else is paying for it. So I don't know whether to just wipe it out. If I sold 3, that would probably be enough to pay it off, or do I just let the renters continue making my house payment? And then in 7 years, I would have more of a bigger monthly income than if I sold 3 now.
Yeah. Well, you're making the decision. If I were in your shoes, I would be making the decision in a weakened state. Because of what you've been through in the last year and a half. You lose your husband in the house. You have to move out of the house because you can't walk in there without memories flooding. And so you have to move. You have to go through the loss of your husband, a funeral. You have to go through the surprise, the shock, everything associated with suicide. Even some people deal with embarrassment as if you had anything to do with it and you didn't, but that sometimes comes up, that kind of thing. And you're dealing with all of that. And then you throw in just a rental property question, okay? Rental property is a wonderful investment. I've got a bunch of it, as you know. And it is not to be managed from weakness. And so when you say things like, oh, the renters are paying my payments, no, that's not true. Just try waiting until they don't pay your payments, and then you don't have to pay your payments. And so then you'll know that that's not true. So that's, if they pay the rent, that's true. And you say things like, I don't want to get market rent because I might lose my renter. And so now your renter is holding the landlord hostage. No, I'm going to raise my rents every year. Every time the lease is up, I'm going to raise the rents. It's going to be close to approaching market rent. And I don't want somebody sitting there on a 10-year-old rent rate. And rents have doubled during that time. And then we've got an emotional problem when I do finally try to raise it because I feel strong enough to do that emotionally. And then they jettison on me. I'd rather just have some normal turnover as part of owning rental properties. If you can deal with normal turnover and market rates, that's an indication you're in a position of emotional strength as a landlord to work with these things, and you want to ride them out. I'm okay with that. Not okay with your current plan. Because it indicates you, listen, I've had enough crap in my life, don't rock the boat, is what you told me 6 different ways in your conversation. I don't want to do anything causes any disturbance in the force. I've had enough disturbance. And I don't blame you, by the way. I think that's where most people would be that are human beings. And so I think that. So if I were you, I'd ask myself the question, if my house was paid for and I owned the 5 paid for rentals or 6 paid for rentals or whatever, would I go buy some other rentals on payments? And I think the answer is no. So I'm going to have a smaller, more efficient portfolio, meaning a smaller portfolio of rentals that are paying me market rather than a larger portion that are not paying me market because I don't want to deal with the hassle. And I don't have any debt, house or anything. And that's where I would want to be. And from there, if you want to buy some other rentals as the years go on and you continue this desire to grow the real estate portfolio and you want to do it with cash, then I would actually absolutely go that way.
Yeah, I'm looking down at the numbers here, and there's $750,000 in debt. And after being what she's been through, I just want some financial peace in my life, and I want some stability. And to me, I'm going to sell a few. I'm going to get rid of my mortgage. It's a lot off the shoulders, a lot less to manage in the portfolio. And if you raise the rent, you might make some of that up on the other properties. Yeah. So I feel good about that plan.
Give yourself permission to not be the strongest you've ever been in your life right now. Because that would just mean you're a human. Because humans hurt when they go through things like you've been through, honey. And so it's okay to just sit where you are for a little while longer. You don't have to make any decisions. There's nothing pushing any of this. And it's okay to simplify your life. But at the end of the story, whenever the end is, whether that at the next chapter of the story, whenever that is, I want you to be 3 years from now running an efficient, paid-for set of rentals that are being charged market rate, and you're landlording from not only financial strength, but from emotional strength. But no, if you're not having some turnover, your rents aren't right. That's part of the rule. And again, we've got a bunch of property, and rental rates have changed a lot in the last 12 months in our area. They've gone way up. And so we're seeing some pretty substantial increases on some of our existing tenants. And by the way, if they were to leave because we increased it, guess where they have to go rent? Somewhere else that's charging market rent too. And so that's how it works out here in the world. Sorry. And so I'm not gonna lose them if they go shopping, because I'm not overcharging. I'm just charging the market. That's all. And that's just efficient management of the asset. That's called good stewardship. This is the Ramsey Show. Bobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. They're here. Kevin and Rhonda are with us. T-shirts say weird people. That's always a good sign.
Yes, it is.
I like hanging out with weird people. Normal sucks out there. I don't want to be normal. Hey, guys, welcome. Where do y'all live?
Indianapolis.
Welcome to Nashville. All the way here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
$135,600.
Love it. And how long did this take?
36 months.
Yeah. And your range of income during that time?
160 to 180,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an EMT and I drive a special needs school bus.
Oh, wow. Okay. So did y'all meet on an EMT police officer call?
I wish. No.
I just had this thing happen in my head there. I just saw that
It's a very
happening.
romantic story.
Yeah, it's an ambulance and a policeman, and everything's bad except they meet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, didn't work out that way. Okay. So, what kind of debt was your $136,000?
We had 2 iPhones and 2 vehicles in our house.
Paid off the house.
Paid off the house.
That's the weird people T-shirts.
Yep.
I like it. What's this house worth?
300,000.
Yay! Way to go!
Thank you.
How does it feel to have no payments in the whole world?
It was good. The grass was definitely different when we walked on it barefoot.
I bet. Everything is different.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
Yes.
Congratulations. So what started this journey 36 months ago?
Well, I'm 51 now. I'm an avid long-distance backpacker. I wanted to retire at 57 in order to be able to try to hike all the long trails here in the United States.
Wow.
And we had been investing my entire adult life. But honestly, I had no clue what I was doing. We traveled a lot, spent a lot of money, bought a bunch of crap we didn't really need. And we were the guys, like George's podcast, that thought we were smarter than the credit card companies, never paid an interest on the credit cards, but every month we got a bill for some reason. I don't remember what we bought.
But you got points.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Then looking around for smart investing, we discovered you on YouTube, and it was game on from there. I worked a lot of extra. Being a cop, you can basically work 24/7 if you want.
Mm-hmm.
My department gives financial peace type class, so I attended that. Rhonda has a side business that she started up making crafts and gnomes, which exploded and did really awesome. And then when we were about $3,000 from getting the house paid off, September the 26th on the way to church, well, I had 2 strokes, one on the 25th and then one on the 26th on the way to church, and spent a week in the hospital. And thank the Lord that we discovered you and for your ministry, because if something had happened to me and I died or been to the point where I couldn't function anymore, it could have been pretty scary financially for Rhonda.
Wow.
And then a week after I got out of the hospital, we paid off the house.
Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. I love it.
Quite the journey there. So was this health scare the thing that made you go, never again? We've got to stop playing this game.
No, we were already on. We were almost done with everything. We only had $3,000 left on the house, and then I stroked out.
That's wild. That didn't set you guys back at all. You just got up from that and went, all right, we're going to keep going.
Slowly.
Wow.
Got up. Yeah.
And you're doing great now?
Pretty much. My artery's still completely blocked, but the good Lord still got me here.
Wow. Oh, man. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
But the good news is you're completely free as far as the debt part goes.
Yes,
and
sir.
now all you got to deal with is the medical.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Are they going to do something for the blocked artery, or you just hope it's
No,
okay?
I tore it working out.
Oh.
Being an idiot, thinking I was a 21-year-old, and tore my carotid artery working out, and there's nothing they can do if it's fully blocked. So, God willing, it'll heal on its own. If not, I'll deal with it.
Okay. My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's that do to the hiking goal?
We'll see. We're going out to the Appalachian Trail in May, and then I'm going to hike 500 miles in Colorado in July if everything's going good.
Doesn't sound like we're changing anything.
We'll see.
All right. Wow. That's a lot of hiking, brother.
Beats working.
Well, yeah. It sounds like work to me, actually. But yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations, you
Thank
guys.
you.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
First and foremost, I would say having a relationship with Jesus Christ. through our journey, he's been there for us, and we wouldn't be where we are today without him. We walk with him, just like your sign says, daily. And another thing would be focus on your debt. Just stay focused on it. I know there's going to be bad times and good times, but you just still need just to go ahead and focus on it. And what we've done is that we've made a little plan where we've opened several different savings accounts, and each month we would put money in each of those. So it'd be like fund money, home improvement, vacation, car. And so we just recently got new cabinets for our house, for our home improvement, and we're wanting to do something else, but we can't do it unless we put that money in there and we have it. So, and just like with the fund money, we run out that month, we don't get to go out, we don't get to do anything, you know. So it's really being focused and being a team and doing it together, you know, and putting God at the center. I can't express enough how important it is to just really focus and put your trust in God.
Amen. Amen. Yep. And then let's go ahead and have a stroke. That'll help you trust in God too.
Right.
Yes,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Just
it made
throw
us
that
humble.
in the mix. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you realize how little control you have when something like that happens. But the thing you can control is getting out of debt and
Correct.
putting yourself in that financial spot. And
Correct.
the way that faith and hope have intertwined your lives and the way you guys have held hands through this together, you're just a resilient couple. There's nothing that's going to stop them.
Thank you.
A 500-mile hike, a mountain of debt, nothing.
I hike too, so
She does
don't give
hike.
him all the
Don't
credit.
give him all the credit. Well, you may have to carry him out on your
know.
back. I don't know. And he looks like he might be a heavy load. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. So, how much is in investments?
We're everyday millionaires. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I was guessing. Yeah. $300,000 house plus
Plus, I
more
got
than
the police
700,000.
pension. Plus, I have the police pension going.
Plus, you got the pension as well. Yeah. Now, are you out on disability then with that, or?
I went back to light duty, so I'd call detectives house cat. So I'm a house cat for another month or so, and then I'll be back to the street.
Okay. All right. Wow. House cat. I've not heard that one. That's good. Very good. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Is it worth the journey?
Oh my goodness, it was great.
How long have you guys been married?
9 years.
9 years.
You ever been debt-free while you were married?
No.
Not until now. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Very well done. You're heroes.
Thank you.
Great job. Well, we've got a copy of the book Everyday Millionaires. Well, the Baby Steps Millionaires. We'll give you one of each. Why not?
Yeah.
And get that taken care of for you. And, of course, a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, for you to give away. The Baby Steps Millionaires book comes out next week, but we're going to get you one today because we know a guy.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
You know, you've seen it from our, like, giving advice. What was you saying about being in the airplane? And
Oh,
yeah. So this is kind of our...
It's okay. It was a joke, but we'll just go on.
It was funny, so...
We'll do it off air.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk to you at the break. You can hit the punchline that way.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, guys. Way to go. All right, Kevin and Rhonda, Indianapolis, Indiana, $136,000 paid off in 36 months, making $160 to $180, just in time to hike the Appalachian Trail. And Everyday Millionaires, Baby Steps Millionaires in the process. Very, very well done,
Thank
you guys.
Thank you.
All right, house and everything, baby. They're weird people. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt free.
Love it. Well done, you guys. Very well done. Man, that's
good
fun.
stuff. Doesn't get much better.
Hike all the long trails.
I'm not doing it, Dave. I'll let Kevin handle that one.
You think, well, yeah, let Rhonda handle it.
Yes.
Yeah, she does it too. Yeah. This is the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. A few weeks ago, we announced we're having a huge event coming up next week on Thursday, January the 13th. It is completely sold out for in-person tickets. Over 1,000, almost 1,500 people are coming to our event, and thousands more have registered for the free live stream. If you haven't heard me talk about it yet, George Camel, to my right, Rachel Cruz and I are going to be talking about how to build wealth in 2022. We're going to talk about the latest and greatest get-rich-quick ideas, from crypto to nothing down, real estate to single stocks, NFTs. We're going to show you how to do it the right way. We're going to show you how to become wealthy the quickest and surest way. The countdown for our Building Wealth event is officially begun. Join us next week at this free one-night only event, Thursday, January 13th, Building Wealth in 2022. Don't miss the opportunity to make sure you're on the right track to build wealth. Join the thousands who have already registered for the free live stream. Again, it is sold out, so we're making the live stream available to you for free. You go to RamseySolutions.com/wealth to register today. Going to be fun.
Totally free. I'm still impressed.
Going to be fun.
No reason not to be there.
Well, George and Rachel, the material that they put together and the team and I have put together, it's all, I think, I mean, no matter what you paid for it, I think you would have gotten a return on your investment for your wealth.
No pun intended there.
Yeah, bada boom. Yeah. But I mean, I'm excited about this.
Me too. And it feels very fresh. It's very relevant. It's all trending things that you're having conversations about at the dinner table with your friends. And we want to just address it head on. And of course, it points back to our principles and the fact that they do, in fact, work. So I'm excited to talk about it.
RamseySolutions.com/wealth. 1 week from Thursday, January the 13th. You do have to pre-register, but the live stream is free. Blinds.com, 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, and new promos all the time. Always use the magic word Ramsey to get the best deal. This is a great company if you're going to put in window blinds or window coverings. Blinds.com.
Today's question comes from Dan in Washington, D.C. I'm a landlord who owns multiple rental properties. Over the past year or two, rent prices have seen a big increase. This is great for a landlord, but not so great for the tenant. I know I need to raise my rental rates to keep up with the increased overhead costs. However, this causes direct hardship to my tenants that have been good tenants for the past few years. As a Christian, this is hard for me. I would feel bad if raising rent caused them to have to move after they've made the house their home. I did not get into real estate to subsidize people's living expenses, but I also didn't get into real estate to displace families either. I love investing in real estate, so I don't see myself exiting this field, so I'd like to hear your advice on how to balance this equation.
It is sweet that you've got a big heart like this, and that's a nice thing. And you're not exiting the landlord field. And so you are going to have to learn to balance your faith with business practices that are not dishonoring to your faith. Treat other people like you would want to be treated. Okay? I lease a building for Ramsey Solutions that is an office warehouse. We're not the owner of it. About 5 miles from where we sit right now, from our buildings that we own. And the lease is coming up for renewal. If the guy raises my rent to market rate, why does that make him a bad Christian? That was a passive-aggressive question. Answer is, it doesn't. Okay, I own rental property, single-family homes, among many other properties that we own. And if I raise my rent to be market rate, that does not make me a bad Christian. I did not displace the person out of that house if they can no longer afford it. The marketplace did. The economy did. The ratio of the income that they earned to their housing expense displaced them. I didn't cause any of that. And so you are not displacing them. You're taking too much credit for what's going on. If they need to move to a cheaper house because they can't afford, they're going to move to a lesser house. Because if they move, they're going to pay market rent. Now, having said all of that, I've had situations, because I manage the properties with a heart and a head, both. I don't personally manage them, but we do, my family does, that someone is sick. I remember one time, a long time ago, a lady had cancer. Am I going to evict someone in the middle of chemo? No, I'm not. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to have clear conversations. I want to know what's really going on. I don't want to be duped by the situation, but on the other hand, I also want to treat other people like I'd want to be treated. That's a biblical mandate. And so if I were in that situation, how would I want to be treated? Well, I'd love some mercy, some grace. But mercy and grace, because rents went up in general, and I can't afford to live here anymore because my job didn't go up as much as the cost of a loaf of bread or a gallon of gasoline went up, because welcome to inflation. This is not something you caused. Now, you didn't cause the cancer either, but that is a temporary thing. This other thing's going to be there forever. That family is never going to be able to afford to live there if they can't afford to live there. It's not going to change. Now, if they come in and they go, I'm getting a raise in 4 months, and here's the contract, can you wait then? Yeah, I'll give them a little mercy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this idea that you have to equate Christian and kindness with not having good marketplace experience is not true. It's not a factual way of viewing this.
And you brought this up with a caller earlier who was kind of experiencing a similar situation, and you said, hey, this is being a good steward of the asset that you are managing. And he says in the question that they've made the house their home. It's not their home. It's your home. It'll never be their home as long as they're renting it.
Good point. And when you're a renter, you kind of know that.
Yeah.
I've been a renter, and I didn't expect to stay there. I'm passing through. No one that rents, very few people that rent go, I want to be here 50 years. I think I'm just going to stay in your house for 50 years.
No one does that.
This is my forever home. I'm a renter. No one says this.
And honestly,
things that people don't say.
I like taking it situation by situation and going, is this a true hardship, or is it really, you got to tighten up the budget? And so at that point, I may give them some resources, maybe some Ramsey resources to say, hey, here's the total money makeover. Mm-hmm. I want to help you create that margin. I'd love to keep you as a tenant. You've been great.
And how you interact with them in kindness is fine too. You don't have to be unkind. You don't have to be cold and transactional. You can go, I understand, and it hurts my heart, but I'm doing this with all these things. Now, if you've got a property that's gone way up, maybe you stage it up. And that's how you'd want to be treated if you were there. Treat other people like you want to be treated. But if you really would expect to get to live there on rental rates that are 75% of the market forever, just because your landlord's a Christian, then you've got something screwed in your brain. You really do. That's just not how things. That is not a calling of the Bible. That is not something Scripture calls us to undercharge because we're Christians. Now, we don't need to overcharge. We don't need to rip people off. We certainly want to tell the truth and those kinds of things. We're not trying to take advantage in some way. But sometimes people get in their head that anybody that sells anything can't be a Christian. I can't believe you don't just give all your stuff away, Ramsey. All these people that work here, 1,100 of them that want payroll, they require that I don't give my stuff away because they like for their payroll checks to clear. That's how this stuff works. That's why we sell a book instead of giving away a book. Can I personally afford to give you a $2 or $10 or $20 book? Yeah, I can personally afford to do that. But I got to make sure that the people here eat that work on this stuff. And so it's not an unchristian act to have interaction in the marketplace.
It's a good word.
All right, good question. I like that, Dan. Thank you for writing that in. That's very, very good. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600 plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. George Campbell, Ramsey personality, host of the podcast The Fine Print, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life, your money, your work, your relationships. It's The Ramsey Show. Thanks for being here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. George, I hadn't planned to do this, but it just occurred to me that I probably should say, because I think our fans, our super fans that are dialed in, may have noticed that we didn't say we're broadcasting live from the Dollar Car Rental Studios.
We were missing a little piece of the sentence there. It felt weird.
It felt weird saying it. I don't know if anybody's ears caught it or not, but so Dollar Car Rental had sponsored our studio for 2 years. And wonderful relationship, wonderful people, and we appreciated their sponsorship. We still appreciate their sponsorship. When COVID hit, a lot of the rental car companies went through bankruptcy. Hertz owns Dollar, and they were no exception. And the entire marketing team that we were working with when we did the original sponsorship deal exited during the bankruptcy. And so in the second year of working with Dollar, we're working with a whole different group of people, which is not bad. They weren't bad people. They were fine. No issues at all. But the reason we did the Dollar Car sponsorship was not to get money for the studio, although we took the money. That's part of the deal. But the reason was that we were really, really excited to have a rental car company that would accept debit cards and not treat debit card holders like second-class citizens when you go to a rental car counter, because most of them do treat you that way. And the new leadership team at Dollar reverted back to the old way that
the old policies
that most rental car companies use. So no hard feelings there, but it's inappropriate for us to continue to send you guys to Dollar because we tell you only have a debit card, not have a credit card, and then they've got standard debit card processes which are unwieldy as far as I'm concerned. And so, we had a great run with them for a couple of years there. And for a little while, we got you guys a really good situation with Dollar to be able to use your debit card. And they've gone back to normal. Hertz and whatever other brand you want to throw out there uses. They all pretty much treat debit card holders like second-class citizens. It's kind of a normal thing for them. And no hard feelings. We're not mad at Dollar. They're not mad at us. Just the sponsorship came to a close because they felt like that we didn't feel like they should renew because it's not going to give them value for us to endorse them when we're sending people over there who get pissed off then when they go over there because you go in there and go, Ramsey sent me over here and you treat me like this, so we just can't do that. So, but it was a good run for a while, and so we're actively seeking. You may hear another studio sponsor at some point. Might be a rental car company, might be someone else. You never know. Team is working on that now. But that's what happened. And not all relationships on things like that end well, but this one did. It was good people, and
clean break.
It's just they get to run their company, we get to run our company, and that's how that works, and it's all good. So that's why it's not there. In case you're wondering, I won't cover it again. I'm not going to cover it every day. It's just something there. But they gave us a lot of money for 2 years, and we appreciated them. And they took care of our people for a portion of that 2 years beautifully, and then reverted back to the old systems. And so there we are. Now, sidebar, nothing to do with Dollar, but partially to do with Dollar. It's just interesting. We need to do this in the fine print. So you know why these companies, as we've dug into it, because we've talked to several different rental car companies about this, because trying to get them to not treat debit card users like second-class citizens. Apparently, there's like a mafia ring or a cartel ring of thieves that rent cars and steal them. No kidding. That's not shocking to me. But somewhere they figured out that like 0.005% more of them are with, like a minuscule amount, are with debit cards. So somewhere someone in the corporate jungle decided that that this debit card usage was associated with these massive thefts that they really are enduring. They really have massive thefts on these things. And so so they just said, we'd rather not have debit cards users. And that's why they treat them that way, treat us that way. So but it's all associated with a misnomer. I'll tell you another one. Here's another one. Here's another statistical misnomer. Okay. The University of Pennsylvania, in conjunction with the University of Texas, did a study, 25 years ago, where they found people with low credit scores have a higher likelihood of turning in an automobile claim in a wreck. And people with high credit scores have a higher likelihood of just paying the automobile claim. And consequently, they said anybody without a high credit score, we're going to raise your... a bunch of the auto insurance companies adopted it. State Farm was the first one. Nationwide was the second one. Adopted this idea that if you don't have a high credit score, we're going to charge you more. Surcharge. Of course, the study did not accurately reveal reality, which is the people that have no credit score, like multi-millionaires like me, never turn in an auto claim unless it's extreme. We just pay them. We don't think about it. I don't turn in a $2,000 claim. The building I'm sitting in is worth $400 million. I don't turn in a $2,000 claim. Okay, I'm not being snotty or anything, but these are just your realities. So people that are wealthy and have a zero credit score are not taken into account in this remote study from 25 years ago. And then as a result, everyone is thrown out, just like with a debit card user at the rent-a-car company. Everyone's thrown out because corporate America doesn't bother to actually understand the details of the study.
Well, I think it's laziness. They're just wanting to lump everyone into one camp. High credit score and then low and no score.
Debit card, credit cards. Yeah, cartels all use debit cards.
Apparently.
Give me a break.
Hey, they're moving at the speed of cash at least. That's one good thing. That's so strange. But I'll tell you this, Dave. I just rented a car a few weeks ago, went to Arizona, and we went through Enterprise. I booked it through Costco Travel, and I had no issue using a debit card. And here's what they said at the counter. Hey, we're going to charge an extra 20% hold. It'll come back to you when you return the car because of the debit card. I said, okay. That was it.
That's no different than a hotel.
Exactly.
They'll put a hold on your room.
But the idea that people go, Dave, my life's going to be so difficult if I have to use a debit card. It's impossible. You can't rent a car. You can't do...
I didn't realize Enterprise was that lenient. That's good. Maybe we need to get them to do a sponsorship.
Only good experiences with Enterprise. And, I don't know about the other ones. That's just the one that happened to be the best price when I went to look. But it can be done. You just got to look at the policies beforehand. Make sure you budget for those kinds of holds.
Why did you not use our sponsor?
Well, this was just a few weeks ago, and I was a man of...
You knew everything was coming to an end.
Well, everything, honestly, it was booked up. All the rental cars.
Oh.
This is, back when the rental cars were a little up in the air, if you could even get
They're not
one.
A little up in the air. They're a lot up in the air.
And so I just went with one that was available that had the best price.
All right. I'll put you on the spot here, but
Thank you.
We need to make sure we take care of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
Right? There you go. All right.
Thanks for clearing the air on that one.
Well, you cleared Enterprise, so they got a free ad out of this. It's good for them. And so everybody's running over to Enterprise now because of George Camel.
Hey, you're welcome.
George, you need to work with the guys and help them be the sponsorship now. You got to own up to this.
Tell them George from Ramsey sent you.
That's it. They know you well. This is the Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Every January, we get hundreds, if not thousands, of calls from people who are ready to start fresh, ready to finally take control of their money. But without a plan, most of them never make progress. They give up. Maybe you've been there too. 2022 can be different. This year, you can win with money by following the plan that has worked for millions of people. It's called Financial Peace University. That's where we'll teach you every detail about the plan. Yep, you'll learn step by step how to save money, pay off debt fast, build wealth, and give generously. You can go through the class with other people or watch it online at home. Either way, Financial Peace University is available when you get your Ramsey Plus membership, and you can watch it as many times as you want at your convenience. You can join a class. You can do it all online, however you want. Get control of your money, and you can actually start with a free trial at RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Start Financial Peace University with a free trial. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Heather is with us. Heather is in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hi, Heather. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I'm so excited to talk to you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I are currently in baby step 6, and we need to do some home renovations. And I'm just not really sure if we need to pause the baby steps to pile up cash, or if we can continue with our baby step journey while we're piling up cash. So I've tried to kind of find this answer on your website and just through other clips and things like that on YouTube, and the only thing I can seem to find is baby step 3B, where people are saving up for a down payment on their home.
Yeah.
So I kind of just wanted some advice from you because I don't want to mess anything up.
Sure. So how much are these home renovations going to cost?
So we are anticipating, we had some quotes come in pre-COVID, and we didn't feel good kind of moving forward pre-COVID because it was literally when the world was shutting down, so we got a little scared. And then, of course, hindsight being what it is, had we known that, building costs and things of that nature were going to go up like they have, we would have totally pulled the trigger back in, May of 2020. But needless to say, we're figuring around, right now, quotes and things are coming in at around $40,000. And what it is...
What's your household income?
Yeah, it's around $145,000 a year.
Okay, so while you're doing baby steps 4, 5, and 6, you're doing them simultaneously. Do you have kids you're saving for college?
We do. We have a set of twins who are 4.
Okay. How much are you putting away for their college?
So... not a lot right now.
Okay. And so are you putting your 15% away in baby step 4 for retirement?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so when you save up the $40,000, it will effectively just lower how much you're paying down your mortgage for a little while, right?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
That's where you would do it.
Okay, so just continue with the baby steps like we currently are, and just when we're doing the monthly budget.
It just slows baby step 6 because we're going to steal $40,000 from that, what would have gone to paying off the mortgage, which is fine. If you're going to save up and buy a car, same thing. If you're going to save up and buy a couch or a vacation, same thing. Anything you consume beyond 15% of your income going into retirement, beyond your kids' college savings, is going to slow down your baby step 6 mathematically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's just my nerd brain is really struggling with how long, that's going to take. And I don't know why it feels like it.
Well, how much are you paying extra on your mortgage?
We typically have about an extra $1,500 to $2,000 a month that we can save.
Okay, let's call that $24,000 a year. How long does it take to get $40,000? 18 months.
Yeah, like a year and a half. Yeah.
That help your nerd brain?
Yeah, it does. It just, I just needed to hear you say it, I guess.
So here, let me ask you this. Can you break what I would do if I'm in your shoes is I would break the renovations into about 2 or 3 phases.
So let me tell you what the renovations are. So we live in a small home. It's roughly 1,100 square feet. We bought it as a starter home back in 2010. We planned on having a baby in 2017 and ended up with 2 babies. So the twins are currently sharing a bedroom. So we're adding just some square footage so that the twins can actually have their own bedroom. So it's not anything extravagant.
What's your home worth?
About $165,000.
What do the homes in your neighborhood sell for?
It depends.
Do they sell for over 200?
Size?
For a home similar to yours?
Not this size. No, they do.
No, I mean, is there homes if I drive down your street, am I looking for a $200,000 house? No.
No.
Move. Don't renovate. You're about to overbuild the neighborhood.
I don't know. Well,
no.
Okay.
No. No.
So even if we only owe $70,000,
I don't care what you owe. That's not part of the equation. The equation is you're going to spend $40,000 and you're going to have effectively $205,000 in a home that nobody looks for $200,000 homes within 3 to 5 streets of you ever. No one thinks of that neighborhood as a $200,000 to $250,000 neighborhood. They think of it as a $150,000 to $200,000 neighborhood, and you're about to lose this money. You need to just move. You've got a dinky butt house. Time to move up. You make plenty of money. You're in good shape.
Okay. All right. That's what I needed to hear.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Okay.
It's just maybe that's why I've been wallowing with the idea, and maybe that's why we've been having a hard time with feeling like we're getting the money saved.
Yeah, and so you don't even have to do the money save then. All we're going to do is just put you on a 15-year fix where the payments
are no more than a quarter of your take-home pay. And you guys will have a great down payment with your equity. So find something that will fit your family's needs, but don't put $40,000 into this renovation that's not going to ROI for you. That's just a bad idea.
Good catch, George. Good catch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you both.
Thank you, darling. We appreciate you calling. Appreciate you letting me tell you directly how it works. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ramsey, you're just more brutal than you used to be. Yeah, it's just short into the answer.
Hey, life's short. We got to be direct.
Yeah, I got to get there fast. Jimmy's in New York City. Hey, Jimmy, what is up in your world?
Hey, Dave, how you doing? I'm going to be precise. I have $17,000 in savings to my name. I make $50,000 a year. Hold on to your seat. My rent is $500 a month. My debt is zero.
You have $500 a month rent in New York City? You live in a cardboard box?
I live in the Bronx, but it's been in my family. My father's been renting it and passed it on to me.
Oh, rent control.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go.
All right. So you make 50 and you have 17 saved and you're 49 years old.
Yes.
And your question's what?
My question is, what can I do to retire at least, maybe not wealthy, but comfortable?
Well, here's the thing. You've got no money in investments right now? You just have the 17 to your name in savings?
Yes.
Do you have a 401k at your job?
Yes, but very little money is going in there.
Well, you have no debt. You've got, it looks like an emergency fund with that 17K, maybe more than you need. And so you got to start investing at least 15% of your income into that 401k. Maybe you open up a Roth IRA and you max that out. But 15% of your income, which out of 50K is going to be, what, $7,500?
Exactly.
And obviously, I want you to do more than that at 49 if you're hoping to retire in the next, 15, 20 years. But once you've got it, are you looking to have a paid-for house one day, or are you going to keep renting?
My goal is to have a house one day, but that's my real goal, to have a house.
Yeah. Do you have a Roth 401k available at work?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Start talking to them about the options there. If you've got good mutual fund options to start that, I'm with George. Let's put 15% of your income, $7,500, let's call it $9,000 even. We can round up a little here into that per year. And if you do that, especially if they match, you're going to be okay when you get to retirement in 10 years or so, or 10 or 15 or 20 years rather. This is The Ramsey Show. for the Ramsey Show. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, on the debt-free stage, Mike and Sierra are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing great, Dave. How are you?
I am better than I deserve. Happy New Year. How much debt did you guys pay off?
Over $137,000.
Woo! Where do you guys live?
Pottstown, Pennsylvania.
Which is near...
An hour from Philadelphia.
Ah, okay, cool. How long did it take you to pay off the 137?
30 months.
Good. And your range of income during that time?
125 to 148.
Cool. What do you guys do for a living?
I do digital media marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an ESL teacher.
Oh, very good. Very good. Good stuff. All right, fun. So what kind of debt was your $137,000?
Well, the big one was student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple of cars in there. We had some electronics.
Mm-hmm.
We had personal loan. But the big one was really the student loans.
Yeah. How much did you owe on student loans?
Yeah, it was, at one point it was well over 100,000.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
He still looks kind of heavy when he said, at one point, it was so
dejected.
heavy. Yeah, he still feels it.
It was really heavy.
Yeah,
Sally Mae wore him out.
It was gone, but it's gone now. I love it.
It is gone.
Yeah, so very, very cool. Very cool. So what are you guys, 28?
I'm 30.
31.
Almost like I've done this before. Good. Okay. Yeah, that's about where you should be, except now you're debt-free. What happened 2.5 years ago? You rocked this.
So I know for me, having our first daughter, that sort of spearheaded it. And then in the beginning, we were sort of ish. And then it really, I wanted to eventually be able to stay home on a maternity leave with the girls at some point. And you can add more.
Yeah, I mean, we just weren't really working as a unit. So it was kind of like, oh, well, you take care of all the house stuff, Mike, and I'll take care of all these bills over here, and we weren't really working as one. So that was like...
What sparked the conversation? What was it? We got to do something, and then the Ramsey name pops up.
Well, we were in between churches at the time, and one of the churches that we attended was hosting the...
Financial Peace.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so then we decided to join that, and we had our first daughter, and we were... really paycheck to paycheck because we were just covering everything at the house and just covering the basic debt payments. And we were like, this is going to go on forever if we continue this way.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So you have the daughter and you go, these student loans are killing us. This debt is killing us. There's got to be another way. Let's try this Ramsey thing and see how it works.
Yep.
And it worked.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
Yep.
So Financial Peace University, you're in the class. You were really ready. So you go in the class the first night. How long did it take before you thought, I think I might be able to do this?
Well, I mean, for a while, because we were first digging out, it seemed like it was going to take a while. I think for us, what happened was we ended up having our second, and so we kind of had to push pause on everything for a little bit. And it was kind of, after Sierra came home, everybody was healthy, and we kind of took a look at the numbers, and we said, okay, let's push play. Let's do this.
Now we got to go. Game on. Ready, set, boom.
Yep.
Come out of the blocks hard then.
Yep.
Yeah.
We said we got to get it done before we have another one, and we actually have another one coming.
All right. You made it.
We made it.
All right.
Party on.
Very cool.
What made you guys go, you know what, we're not going to wait on student loan forgiveness? Because most people are your age, they're thinking that. They're going, well, I don't want to pay it off. I mean, they're paused and student loan forgiveness might happen. What made you guys go, no, we're going to take control?
So I know the most of the student loans were from mine. And just hearing other stories about how student loan forgiveness didn't always work the way that it was said to work. We didn't want to chance anything. So we were like, we want to get this done. We want to get this over with. We don't want to have to continue with payments as the girls get older. We want to be able to be free, spend time with them, take them on vacations, do things with them, saving for their college so that they didn't have to go through having quite so much debt like I did. That really spirited. We wanted to get it done fast, as fast as we could.
Very good.
While they were little.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Well, I think the big thing is working together, focusing in on your budget, really honing in, and just remembering that the budget isn't your enemy, even though you might think it is. It's the permission to spend your money where it needs to be spent.
Yeah.
And I think also doing the work. I know both of us, like I worked 2 jobs while I was pregnant. He worked multiple jobs. So we both took on extra jobs to increase our finances, but we had to find a way that fit for us. So when I was working too, that didn't really quite work because then we had our second and I sort of needed to be with the girls more then. So then that's when he took on the second. So we sort of balanced it out by working together.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think just, working with your side hustles, you just got to find the right formula. And we ended up finding the right formula for us. And it also helped that they put pause on the interest on the student.
Yeah, that helped. That accelerated it for you. So what was your most lucrative side hustle?
Probably the Domino's. I was delivering Domino's about 4 nights a week.
What were you making a night, or on a 4-night week? What would you make?
4-night week, at least like $400, sometimes $500 in the beginning. So it started, during the pandemic. We had Ensley. She came 3 weeks early, and then on her due date, literally everything shut down. Of course. And then, kind of when we were sitting, and then one night we decided to get pizza, and I'd been listening to the podcast a lot, and for some reason I just kept hearing, deliver the pizzas, and I said, okay, let's do this, and I started delivering pizzas 4 nights a week.
Wow.
Wow. Yep.
That's a lot of sacrifice with babies at home, littles at home, and a pregnant wife at home, and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You feel like now when you look back it was worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you had to do it again to be free, it's worth it.
Yes. For sure.
Because the freedom feeling is everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And while they're little, they got to spend extra time with their grandparents and now we really get to spend all that extra time with them as they grow up and as they enter school and that.
And the big thing for us too was we actually finished 2 weeks shy of our 5-year wedding anniversary. So it was really cool. We were looking at the numbers and it was like, I think we might be able to do this before our anniversary.
Yeah.
And sure enough, 2 weeks before, we made that final payment, and they were gone.
I love it.
That's incredible.
Well, congratulations, guys. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Well,
Way to go,
you.
heroes. You took control of your life. It's empowering, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
You feel powerful. You feel like you can do stuff because
Yep.
you did stuff.
Yep.
That's where that comes from. I like it. Very, very well done. Well, we've got a copy of the new book, Baby Steps Millionaires, for you. That'll be your next chapter for sure to go on and be millionaires. Let's bring the kiddos in. What are their names and ages?
Zara's 4 and Ensley is about 22 months.
All right. Very cool with the matching dresses. Cute kiddos. I love it. Very well done. Good stuff. All right, guys. Way to go. Excellent, excellent work. Mike and Sierra, Zara and Ensley from the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. $137,000 paid off in 30 months, making $125,000 to $148,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Man.
Love it. It's amazing what happens when you have a big enough why and you're not afraid to do the work.
And when we had this presentation at staff meeting this morning, the team is really checking the data points on people that win. The number of people that get out of debt that are working extra jobs temporarily, that have temporarily stopped their retirement investing, and that used any savings that they had that was non-retirement, any wealth that they had that was non-retirement to get out of debt, down to that $1,000. In other words, their working hour plan. Those are 3 key components of working hour plan while you're in baby steps 1 through 3. It increases their probability of actually getting out of debt and the speed at which they get out of debt dramatically. And we're starting to collect data that is showing this on all the hundreds of thousands of people we work with on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
This is The Ramsey Show. Camel Ramsey personality is my co-host today. This is the Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us. We talk about your life, your work, your relationships, your money, you. It's all about you. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Matt is in Kansas City. Hi, Matt. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. Hi, George, as well.
Hey, sure. What's up?
So I've been a public school teacher for 28 years, and over the last few years, I've really felt unsettled in my current job and really feel that our kids, especially teens, including my own son, need to be better equipped in their spiritual walk with God. And so I feel like God is calling me to start a Christian private school in our area to better equip our kids in their faith. And so a couple questions that I have for you is, if this is something that truly God wants me to do, what advice do you have in getting something set up? And two, is this feasible to get something like this started, like, say, in the coming fall?
Well, I mean, basically this is a how do I start a business question.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, your motivation is not business and profit, but this is how do I start an endeavor, and I'm a school teacher.
Right.
Because it's not about teaching right now in terms of the question you're asking me. This is about starting and running a school, which is a business operation. Right. The teaching is the thing that occurs after you get everything else done. Agreed?
Yes, absolutely.
So if you were going to come to Entree Leadership and ask me this question, which you can do and you can ask here on the air, I don't know how to start a private school. I've never done it. I've never been involved in one personally, and it sounds like neither of you. And so we would be starting at the same place, and the first thing I'm going to do is find as many people doing the similar thing successfully that I want to do, and I'm going to try to go spend a day with them, if they'll let me.
Okay.
Take a vacation day, and, if there's one in St. Louis, drive over there. If there's one in Tacoma, if there's one in Oklahoma City, drive down there. I'm trying to think of stuff in your area, okay? Or whatever, I don't care.
Okay.
Jeff City, right? I don't care. Whatever you can find in your immediate area, who's somebody doing something like you want to do, and go observe, listen, take a yellow pad, ask 5,000 questions. How would you do it? What were the things you didn't see coming? What are the greatest rewards? If you had it to do over, what would you do different? How did you do your pricing? How'd you get the clients? How'd you get the first students, the parents that paid you? I'm aware vaguely of some small micro schools that are a handful of kids, 50 kids and that kind of thing, that are that are taught classically, and they're taught with a Christian perspective and with a similar motivation to what's driving you to do this. And so it's not like you have to open something with 500 kids the first year. Are you going to do that by fall? The answer is no. You're not.
Right. Yeah. We were kind of thinking that if we could start with, 20 or 30 kids and maybe do like a few grades, like middle school and high school.
Yeah. How are you going to get your curriculum? What curriculum are you going to offer? How you get your certifications that are necessary with the state? What benchmarks are necessary with the state to continue to make you legal? What guidelines have they got to meet? Have they got testing at your state level to maintain your certs? And I'm making every bit of this up sitting right here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've got to go figure all that out. Because it's not about what you teach in the classroom, and it's not about your spiritual calling. Those two things are a given. You're an expert on those things. You won't have a deficit on those. Where you will have deficit is in how to run and start this business, because you don't know squat about it, and I don't either. George, have you ever done this?
Not quite, but I just keep going back to two things. Start small and do it with cash. And that may not be this fall, but there are, you got to start dreaming about, what do I want this to be? Am I okay with this being 20 kids for now? And if so, I need to start gathering interest. Are there people in my neighborhood and a local Facebook group who would be interested in sending their kid to this, and how much are they willing to pay? And so find out what the going rate would be. Can you sustain an income off of that? I would write down all of these questions and do all of the research, meet with all the people, and start to get some answers on this and move forward.
Yeah, you got to build a business model from facts. And what we're doing when we study these other existing schools is studying what we call best practices.
Okay.
In business, if I want to learn how to do a digital offering of whatever, I do a podcast. I go talk to people that are doing successful podcasts. I visit them. I ask how they're doing their podcast. I ask them how they do their marketing, what length they're doing, what they're charging for their ads, how much viewership or listenership they've got. I'm going to learn everything I can about it from some people that are successful already doing it. And then I come back and start my podcast. I don't just wake up one morning and say, now I are a podcaster. There are people that do that, but that's not the proper way to start and run a new idea.
Right. Do you think you would have to set up like as a 501c3 as a nonprofit once you kind of got your ducks in a row? Do you think that would be the route to go?
I have done that, and that takes about 6 months, maybe longer in the COVID environment. Because the IRS, not like they ever worked a lot anyway, but now they really don't work. So everything's running slow, and if you're going to have outside donations other than tuition paid for services given, if you've got tuition paid for services given, you don't have to have 501c3 for that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But outside donations that are tax deductible, the tuition is not tax deductible at a Christian school because you're buying tuition. Right. It's not a donation. It's not a charitable donation. You're buying something. There's goods and services offered for money, and that's so the parents. You don't need it for a tax deduction. That's the only thing 501c3 gives you is the ability for a donor to have a tax deduction. So, but yeah, you need to get started on that yesterday, and that takes a while, and that's not that hard. You can get in touch with one of our tax ELPs. They can work you through the paperwork and get that application made. I'd probably go ahead and get that done. Just make up your name that you want it to be. You don't even have to have the name of the school being that, but just take your best guess at it, get that rolling. But then you've got to decide where your money's coming from. Are you going to charge enough tuition to operate the thing?
Yeah, it would be pretty self-sufficient. I mean, there's a couple other families that we've kind of talked about doing this with as well. But yeah, we would be able to put in some, but it would be pretty much, the tuition that we would bring in.
You're not going to look for outside donors to support the dream.
Well, that's something we're going to talk with the people in our congregation at church maybe about, and just have them pray over it and see if maybe God's moving them to kind of help it as well.
Okay. That would be cool for seed money to get started. That's not cool as your long-term business model. If your long-term business model is going to be raising funds from the outside, it cannot be based on one congregation's prayers.
Right.
You need a bigger bowl that you're fishing in than that. So you need to have a model in your mind that we're going to go to other congregations and show them the dream in the area, show them what we're doing, and ask other people to pray about it as well. And you're in the fundraising business then, as well as the school operation business. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if the only way you stay open 10 years from now is your current congregation is propping you up still, you're probably going to struggle, may not make it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, absolutely. So
it's okay for seed money. If a couple of your big guys in that congregation want to get you out of the boat and get you swimming, that's good. I'm okay with that. But you'll drown out there if you just lean on one. So you decide, okay, 80% of our money is going to be from operational tuition, and 20% is going to be from donations, and that means we need to raise X per year, and that means we need to talk to however many fundraisers, how many things that we're going to do to raise that money. You can get all those numbers. I'm making all that up on the spot. I don't know. But you're just developing a business model here because a nonprofit is a business. It is a business. Nonprofits that don't make a profit go out of business. They all make a profit. It's just a tax and accounting issue. That's all it is. And it's no more holy or less holy than a for-profit business either. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey personality, host of the podcast The Fine Print on Ramsey Networks, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225 as we talk about your work, your relationships, your money, and you right here on The Ramsey Show. Riley starts off this hour in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hi, Riley. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Doing well. How about you?
Better than I deserve. How can George and I help?
Good. Some quick background info here. I'm 26. My wife is 24, and we have a 3-month-old baby.
Yay!
I recently graduated from physical therapy school in May and just started working. And my wife will be finishing up her PT school here in May, this coming May. So we have a total of $161,000 in loans, all student loans. And we currently have $30,000 in cash right now. But we'll have $18,000 after we pay for her next semester here coming up. I'm
sorry. When does she graduate?
This coming May 2022.
Okay, so that's the last semester.
Correct. This is yep.
Okay, so that no more expenses after you pay that 18 out of the 30.
Correct.
Okay.
12 out
of the 30, 18 left over. Yeah. Okay.
18 left.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yes, sir.
What do you make?
So my monthly take home is about 56, right? 5,600 right now.
So you're making like $70,000. What's she gonna be making? About the same?
Yeah, about that. Maybe a little less.
Yeah. So $70,000 or so. Okay. Each. Yeah. So about $140,000. Okay.
Yep. And so my question is, since I'm making payments on my loans right now, do we do my loans smallest to largest and start knocking those out, or do we just add them all up, hers included? Since she's not making payments, and just do it all together, smallest to largest.
Yeah, I mean, this is our debt now since you're married, so I would just pile them all, correct, smallest to largest, and start plowing through those. And because you're going to start to feel the progress, and you're cash flowing the remainder of her school, which is great because you're not adding to this pile of debt. But you guys are going to have a great income coming out of this, and you take on an extra side job, you slash the budget down, you're going to get rid of this stuff real fast.
When the last payment is made on the $161,000, it will not have changed the date by a dime due to you starting one or the other first. Doesn't change it. So it just, George is right. It doesn't, she's out in 6 months. You got 6 more months before you have to start paying. But, and if you want to set hers aside because there's no payments on them and just start plunking through yours first, and then when hers activate 6 months after graduation, approximately a year from now, you could add them back in at that point and start attacking them because they're not draining anything on you right now with no payments being made, right?
Correct. Her undergrad are federal, so it's obviously stopped with that and no interest. And then she also has private loans for grad school, which are...
It all ought to be on hold, though, because she's still in school.
Correct, yep.
And it's all on hold till 6 months after she graduates, right?
Correct, yep.
Regardless of COVID.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that 6 months before she graduates and 6 more months approximately puts us back here at this time next year for her start. I mean, you could go either way. I may want to go your direction just because I like getting rid of some of the payments that you've got.
And that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
We weren't sure where to start, so that's why
it's okay to go either way. George's point of working together to knock out both of them is a big deal. So 100% when her payments come due the first month, you reset your debt snowball and integrate the two over with each other, right?
Perfect. Yep, that makes total sense.
Yeah, but if you're going to go ahead and knock yours out first, in the meantime, how many little ones have you got? Can you knock out in a year?
My lowest balance is about 10,000. So hopefully, I'm not sure, 3 or 4.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're gonna get after it. Good. Well, and she'll start work and shortly after she finishes graduation and so forth. Yeah, I'm in.
That'll give you a nice raise when she starts working. And if you can get your expenses down to nothing and you've got $11K take home coming in, you're going to knock these student loans out really fast if you guys get after it.
Make sure you're not having too much withheld, too, in the process. So, hey, good job, man. Good job. Thanks for calling in. Liz is with us in Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, Liz. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, yes. Can you hear me okay?
Sure. What's up?
Yes. So I'm just trying to figure out if I should, if I should change my career, and if so, I'm kind of confused about to what. I kind of feel like I'm short on time. Just some background: I am 29 years old. I'm a teacher, and I'm on baby step 2. I make about $53K a year gross, and I have 3 kids, age 6, 4, and 1. And I'm a single mom, paying for both aftercare and daycare, so there's not much wiggle room in my budget. But I wake up every morning at 4 and go to bed and get home around 6 p.m., so there's not a lot of time to spend with the kids, which I feel guilty about, which is one of the reasons that I kind of want this career shift. And I'm feeling anxious every morning going into work just because I feel like I'm not getting enough sleep and things of that nature. So with all that, I know that I want a career shift. I've taken the Get Clear assessment, but I'm still kind of confused as to what I should do, and also trying to figure out, how to manage the time to be able to do it.
Okay, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. There's probably not a career that makes a single mom with 3 kids, 6 and under, not have a pile of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is stressful. It's just it's the stage you're in. Thank God it's not going to be forever. But
right.
Raising 3 littles on your own and working full time at anything is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's going to get better until they grow up some. Okay. 1-year-olds and that kind of stuff. It's just you're in a really tough situation, kiddo. So now, if you've got something you can do that makes you twice as much money on half the time spent, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have a job and you're at home full time, you have a stressful life.
Yeah. Right.
It's my grandbabies are this age. I just spent a week with 7 of them. You have a stressful job.
Right.
So do you love teaching?
I feel like it's not my chosen, my career path long term, for sure.
If you could do anything you wanted to do, if you could do anything you wanted to do, what would you do?
That's what I'm really not sure about. I'm really not sure. I've been listening for about a year now, and, I hear different people call in and talk about that thing that really gets them to wake up in the morning, something that they would do, even if they weren't being paid for it. I love the influence. I love the ability to teach, just not necessarily academically.
Yeah, you have a teacher's heart. It's the setting and the life stage that's weighing you down. Hey, hold on. We're going to hook you up with Ken Coleman and his show and see if he can walk you through and do a better job than we were able to do for you.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess? With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
excited. Next week is the launch date for Baby Steps Millionaires, the first book I have done in 8 years. All the other books we've done here at Ramsey have been with Ramsey personalities, and actually the last book I did was with my daughter, Rachel Cruz, Ramsey personality, and Smart Money, Smart Kids. It was a #1. Thank you. And this is the first major trade book I've done. I mean, we've done some of the odds and end things, but I mean, major trade book, this is the first time we've done this. And so, hey, love to have you guys pick up a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth and How You Can Too. This is the proof that's in the pudding, baby. I mean, this is how it works. And we can prove to you that you can become a millionaire in America today. It's not false. It's not saying you can't fix. It's not saying there's not problems out there. It's saying you can overcome them and you can work your way through these things. It is very, very, very possible for you to pull this off. We've got the data to show you. We've got the stories to tell you. We've got 30 years of experience of leading people and showing them to become Baby Steps millionaires. And it'll prove it to your brother-in-law who thinks that wealth inequality requires socialism. Because it doesn't. And so this is my little private war on socialism. So, you know, you need to know that you're not going to convince left-winger dingers that things are different than they are, but than they think they are, but that's okay. I mean, just those convinced against their will are of the same opinion still. You still love them, and you still take care of them, and you just, like in the South, we say, bless your heart, right, and move on. So, Baby Steps Millionaires, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, How You Can Too. It's a $28 book or whatever books are costing these days. We got it on sale, pre-sale, for just a few more days for $20. If you pre-order the book between now and the time we launch it next Tuesday, you're going to get $100 worth of bonus items. Includes the Baby Steps Millionaires audiobook read by me and ebook, the Legacy Journey audiobook and ebook, the Baby Steps Millionaires live stream, which is going to be George and Rachel and I, is Thursday. It's free. You can get that if you don't get the book, by the way. And the Ramsey Smart Tax filing for your federal taxes, and a 30-day free trial of Ramsey Plus, which gets you into Financial Peace University. All of that for $20 for Baby Steps Millionaires. Be sure and check it out. 888-825-5225. If you want to talk, we're here to help. Richard is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Richard. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, Dave. Hello, George. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'd just like to talk to you a little bit. Side note is I just hooked up recently with a SmartVestor Pro after listening to your show for a couple of months.
Cool.
And we finally locked in our agreement to work together, but right before the holiday. So now these last 2 weeks, I've been spinning like a top after my wife and I finally paid off a bunch of debt over quite a few years. And now I just have some questions before I get back together with the SmartVestor Pro in a week or two.
Cool.
And I just couldn't hold myself back from dialing and fire up a couple of questions.
Well, we're honored. We're honored. What's up?
You're the best. Okay, so I think we're around 3B-ish right now, so to speak. The consumer debt, personal debt, IRS, all the debts are paid off, and that was a lot of money. We have 6 months emergency fund locked in. We have our 401k going, and we have a little Schwab account as well. My question is, I received this 4% match at work, right? And I believe I'm not supposed to be contributing anymore if I'm following your program right. And I just wanted to know about that. And also, I don't know if we're 3B-ish because we still have, we took a loan off the 401k to pay off a personal thing that was on our hearts. They didn't want us to pay it back. They said we don't have to pay it back, blah, blah, blah. But according to our hearts and our integrity, we took the loan, paid it back. We paid about 25 grand so far, got about another 25 left, a little over 20 left. Actually.
You have a 401k loan of $25,000.
Yeah, left. That's been...
how much is in your Schwab account?
The Schwab is a little over 30.
Write a check and pay off the 401k loan.
Just get that out of the way, yes?
Yeah, 401k loan is your own money.
Right.
You borrowed your own money. So, yes, you need to pay it back. Yeah, it's part of your baby step 2, actually. So, yeah, you need to knock that out. Now we have a $5,000 Schwab account, and now we're at baby step 3B.
Yes. So, Richard, we don't tell people they have to stop 401k contributions in 3B. That's when you're paying off your consumer debt in step 2. Now, 3B looks different for a lot of people. You are in the Los Angeles area. If this is going to take you 7 years to save up a down payment, I don't want you to miss out on investing. And so it may be a mix where you invest up to the match or you invest the 15%, whatever money's left over, you throw towards the down payment. So you can move forward with, kind of the 4 through 6 while saving a down payment. 3B is for when people want to get intense and they can do it in under 2 years. They can save that down payment. They can pause investing for a short period of time so that they can get into that house. What does that time frame look like for you?
Here's the punchline. The time frame is fine. I could have the down payment within a year, about a year, maybe 14, 16 months. We'll see. But the punchline is this. I'm 57 and my wife is 54 and we're renting. We both owned homes previously, marriages and stuff like that, but we were blessed to be married 7 years ago the right way in God's grace, and we want to continue to do the right thing and be responsible here. So what do you think about that?
Nothing is irresponsible in our discussion here. Okay, so let's revisit what George is saying, because he's got this exactly right. You're being very wise and you're being very careful, Richard. Way to go. I'm proud of you. So what I would tell you to do is, number one, let's today write the check out of the Schwab account, pay the 401k loan off. Now you are officially at baby step 3, have finished baby step 3. You've got your emergency fund in place. Now we start with the down payment. Now baby step 3B can, as George said, mean a lot of different things to a lot of people. Sometimes at baby step 3B, people don't start baby step 4 at all. They don't start their retirement, restart their retirement until they save their house down payment. So 0 going to retirement. Sometimes they put a little into retirement and a bunch into their down payment. Sometimes people go ahead and start 15% on their 401k and then just save their down payment above that, which would take you a little longer, obviously.
Okay, another question. Do you think I should keep enough for the 4% match? We have $270 in the 401k, and
either one's okay. There's not a dumb answer here. Okay. Because you're going to have a down payment saved in a year if you do nothing towards retirement, and you're going to get retirement going full blast after that.
Understood.
So you're going to be okay. Or if you really want that match mathematically because it scratches your itch, I'm kind of like you on that. I kind of hear that in your voice. It's kind of a math nerd thing for you. You hate to walk away from that free money. That just means that's a little bit less you're going to have to save towards your down payment. Might take you a month or 2 longer to save your down payment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it might take you 6 or 8 months longer if you put the whole 15% in. None of those are wrong answers. Each of those are just personal preference, your choice, in our plan. All of it's ultimately up to you. You're adults. You get to do whatever you want to do with your money. But to clarify, that's what 3B is a little bit, you make up your own crap there inside the plan. And then we just ask that you don't save for a house for like 7 years and not do retirement like George said.
Especially at his age.
Yeah, exactly. Especially there. That'd be a bad idea. If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Jake and Jill are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. We're doing good.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Hastings, Minnesota.
Which is near?
Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yep.
Minneapolis, St. Paul. Good. Cool. Yep. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you.
And how much debt have you guys paid off?
$404,812.
Woo! How long did this take?
56 months.
Wow. And your range of income during that time?
Is about 125 to 215.
Nice jump. Nice jump. What do you guys do for a living?
We run a lawn irrigation company.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. So business got good, huh?
Yeah, real good.
You've been growing it fast over the last 5 years.
Trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well done. Good for you guys. Very cool. What kind of debt was your $405,000?
Well, we had a whole bunch, a lot of credit cards. We basically ran our business off of credit cards. We had a home equity line of credit. We had some equipment like a tractor and a skid loader. We had a personal loan, and we paid off our house.
Oh! Like the last part a lot.
Yeah.
So how much of the $405,000 was the house mortgage?
It was probably about 260 of it probably was.
Oh, okay. So almost 3/4 of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then just the rest of it's business stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just put the business on credit cards and business on loans, and you cleaned all of it up. Business is debt free.
Mm-hmm.
House is debt free. We are debt free.
You got it.
I love it. Very cool.
It's good.
Very cool. I love it, guys.
I'm
okay.
very impressed.
So what put you guys on this journey 56 months ago? Tell me the story.
Well, we had gone on a vacation, like a family vacation, paradise we were gone to. We get home, and it was like, oh my gosh, if money doesn't come in, I don't know how I'm going to make the next payment. And so it just was a huge reality check. And we had heard about you guys at a church that we had attended in the past, and so I just dug it all back out and looked into it, and I read the book, and I started listening to all the podcasts nonstop, and just basically told them, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, and I started listening. Happy wife, happy life, you know what I mean?
You just went along with it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Tried the best I could, you know?
Yeah. So, Jake, at what point did you catch up to all what she was doing and say, all right, I understand and I'm part of it?
Well, it took a little bit of time, but I seen the results as we just started picking away at things, and it could see life was getting better and better and better. So,
well, I saw your obviously the income from your business went way up during this period of time too. What happens to a lot of people, I see it with EntreLeadership people all the time, is that as you get control of the money and you see the actual measurable progress, it does it with me too. It motivated me to work even more.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because I felt like I wasn't spinning my wheels for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
No pun intended with you driving a skid loader and mowers and everything else. But yeah, I felt like I was getting traction. Yeah. And it became a game. Like, I'll work some more, let's get it done. I'll work some more, let's get it done.
Right.
Yeah. You got a goal to hit and you're measuring it, you just get after it.
Yeah.
Is that part of why your income went up?
Oh, yeah, and, every time you got a debt paid for, you're that much closer to the driver's seat, and it's like, now nobody can control what we got going on anymore. We're in control.
But I started reading a lot of different kinds of books that, how to run a business. I didn't go to school for that. I married into that, and then when we started having kids, it wasn't going to work for me to work outside the home, so he bought his business partner out. This was years ago, and, that was how we were going to do it, and I dove in deep.
You're doing all the back office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got it.
And that's the stress with that and kids and house bills. Oh my God!
Yes,
if he buys another skid loader, you're gonna kill him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Crazy husband, you know.
All right. So next time you need to buy equipment, because you will.
Yeah, straight up cash.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what made you guys go, not only we're going to clean up all this business debt, the credit cards, but we're going to pay off the house too? That's another level.
I knew for me it wasn't going to feel done until it was all done. You know, like he said, raising a family is stressful enough. So, you know, if that's the one thing I could have taken off, like, I don't have to worry about that anymore. There's enough to worry about all of that, you know?
That's all of that. So you brought the kiddos, all of that. How many kiddos you got?
We have 6.
All right, bring them up. Let's hear their names and ages.
Okay, so the oldest is Lydia. This is Lydia. She's 17. Emily is 15. Donnie is 14. Mally's 13. Hank is 7, and Tom is 6.
Okay, so how many of these guys driving mowers?
As many as it can get.
But they can reach the pedals, right?
That's
you got it. Yeah.
That's right.
I like it. That's good. It's good for them. Absolutely. These guys will turn out, man. They know how to run a business, they know how to work, and their mom knows how to run the checkbook, man. I'm telling you. It's pretty impressive. Very well done, you guys. All right, what do you guys tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Well, you gotta work together, you know, and you gotta have the same plan. So
yeah, for me it was, I would have to dream. You know, it was like I could picture what that was gonna feel like. I knew it was gonna happen. But you know, when going through this, you know, all this Ramsey stuff is what made me realize, like, there is hope. I didn't have hope. I didn't know how to do any of it. So, but then I started watching the Debt-Free Screams, and it's like, oh, we can do this. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah. You guys are impressive.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Thank you.
Very cool. You found a way. You found a way. You weren't waiting on somebody else to fix it. You scratch and claw your way through it. You got it. There's always a book. Somebody's always got a book. I mean, books have saved my life, man. They've taught me everything. So I'm going to give you a copy of Entree Leadership, too. Have you read that one yet? Okay. All right. Well, you don't need to give you one then. You already got it. All right. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. It comes out next week, but we got a pre-launch copy for you guys to say congratulations, because you're going to be Baby Steps Millionaires if you're not already. What's the house worth?
About $375.
Okay. You may be there already. How much you got in investments?
Probably about 300.
Okay, you're almost there. Yeah. Unless we count the business assets too. You are there.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. Baby Step Millionaires too. Right in the process. It's not that unusual. We hear the house payoff for them to make that same time. That's not unusual for both those things to happen around the same time. Good stuff, guys. Way to go. Also a copy of Total Money Makeover. You can give it away to some friends, stir up their life. It's a good thing to do. So you guys are a very, very impressive couple. Hard working and diligent, scratch and claw, get her done, hustle and grind. Good people. Thank you so much. We're honored. You guys are why we do this. Very, very good stuff. All right, it's Jake and Jill, Lydia, Emily, Donnie, Mally, Hank, and Tom. Hope I got all that right. In the St. Paul, Minneapolis area in Minnesota. $405,000 paid off, house and everything. These are weird people. They did it, man. 56 months, making $125 all the way to $215. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free. Yeah. I love it.
There's so many of them, I couldn't tell who screamed. It's amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing about a large family, you do learn to work together. There's no other option. I mean, we've got friends, we've got folks on our staff here that have 6, 8, 10 kids, that kind of thing. And you're going to do that. You've got to learn to work together. So it's easy for them to apply these ideas of, okay, what do we got to do? Let's all get together, huddle up, boom, let's get it done.
Teamwork.
And it makes all the difference in the world. And when you're running a small business and you don't have any debt, nothing on your home, nothing on your equipment, nothing on anything, and next time you get ready to buy equipment, the key answer,
cash.
You're going to pay cash for it, baby. That's It's going to set them up to be unbelievably
Their
wealthy.
business is going to take off now.
Well, it's already taken off. But yeah, now it's all theirs. I mean, the money's all theirs. Now you get to bring it home and it's like mine. Now what do I do?
You handle clients differently when there's no debt in the picture.
Yeah, you don't put up with the crazy ones.
No, you don't need to.
Yeah, you can fire those. And there's a few of them need firing. I just tell you.
That's for sure.
I might do that this week. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Psalm 65:11. You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance. Thomas Edison said, if we did all the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. That should be our goal for 2022. Astound ourselves.
I like that.
If we could just astound Kelly.
That is not going to happen.
But maybe we could astound ourselves. That would be okay. Astound. That's a great word.
Yeah.
I want to astound myself. Nick is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hey. Yeah, if only we could be astounding. So I think I already know the answer to this. I've read all your books and I've watched the podcasts and all the things. And I think that last call, the family that was just on there was really awesome. Honestly, that's probably all I really needed because I think I know where this call is going to go. So here's the situation. I'm a new travel nurse. I moved all the way to Dallas, Texas from Richmond, and I ended up getting into a wreck. I got this 2000 Toyota 4Runner, and it's been my baby. It's made it to 250,000 miles, and it's pretty much time to say goodbye. I got it appraised at $8,000 on the first appraisal, and then the second was 2.5. But that guy hasn't called me back, and he's kind of from a sketchy area. So I think what I'm looking at here is getting a beater, but I'm a little nervous because if I did, I don't know if it'd be so safe on the highways when I go to my next place. And I don't know. My friend, he used to be a car salesman, and he's been trying to tell me that it might just make more sense to go ahead and get a car loan and get something new because of the inflation.
Wait a minute, a car salesman told you this? This is a credible piece of information.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute, dude. Have you gained money?
No. All right. We've been best friends literally since middle school. I mean, he's not trying to.
No, dude, not him. He's out of the picture. He's already discredited himself. He doesn't even work. He's not. He no longer gets a vote because his opinion is dumb. Now let's move on. Do you have any money?
No, man. I mean,
no money at all. Okay, you don't have any money in savings at all.
I've got $400.
Okay.
I've got
the car. Yeah. Did you total the 4Runner?
Oh man, it's it's running.
Did you have insurance?
I've got liability.
Oh, you didn't have collision.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you just lost your car. And it's going to sell broken for $8,000?
Broken, so $8,000 was to fix it.
Oh, fix it.
Oh, you're saying you get quotes. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
You don't have $8,000 though.
Nah, definitely not.
And you don't have insurance to fix it. So, yeah, before you spend $8,000 to fix this piece of crap, you'd spend $8,000 to buy a car. But in either case, you don't have $8,000. So let's start again. You have $400 to your name.
I've got a credit card, man, but yeah, I know how you feel about that.
Where's your money going? You said you're a travel nurse. That's good money.
Yeah. So the way, I mean, it sounds real great, but there's a period where you've got to make ends meet before your first payment, like you get money from the agency. So anyway, I've gotten 2 paychecks so far, and after paying back all the travel expenses and the credit card I ended up getting,
is the card paid off now? Do you have a zero balance on it?
Yep.
And it will sell in its current condition for how much?
$800 was what CarMax told me.
All right. So you got $1,000 to your name. When do you get your next check?
Yes.
When do you get your next check?
This coming Friday.
How much will it be?
$2,800.
Okay. All right. I can only tell you what I would do in your situation. You painted yourself into a really difficult corner because you saved absolutely no money and you didn't carry collision insurance, which you should have been doing both of those things. Okay? So today we're going to start listening to Dave and George and start doing this stuff. So your next goal is to get $1,000 in the bank after we get you a car. Okay? But if I woke up in your shoes, your back is against the wall, I'd sell the car for $800, I'd take $1,000 of my $1,200, I'd take $1,000 out of the check that's coming Friday, and I'd buy a $2,000 car. I would drive that for 2 to 3 months. Meanwhile, I'm going to save like a crazy man and buy an $8,000 car. And I want you to work like a freaking maniac, like every hour they will give you. And I want you to quit partying.
I lived it up a little bit on the way here.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for. A little bit of honesty out of Nick. Yeah, Dave's exactly right. The whole idea that if you buy a beater car, it's going to explode on the interstate, that's just a load of baloney, and it's justification. My car I'm driving right now cost me $6,000, and I've been driving it for almost 5 years, and it's a beater, but it runs. It's a Honda, so go get you a cheap car.
Has it ever left you out?
No.
Never left you stranded?
Never.
Not one time?
So look for a good used car that's reasonable right now, and that's not going to be sweet for $2,000. But you can upgrade.
2,000. It's ugly but reliable.
I want it as ugly as possible.
Here's the thing, Nick. Your situation is you're painted in this corner because you're living for the moment. Your entire whole calendar and your checkbook is YOLO. It's every bit. Thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday. And I want you to flip that and start having a vision for your life a decade from now, the kind of man you want to be, the kind of place you want to be, how you want to be living, and the amount of wealth you want to build. Because if you keep living like you're living, you're going to keep having the same problems you got. I noticed that when I was completely broke, that my life looked like a country song. Everything that can go wrong will. Keep the dog out of the street, it'll get hit. Oh my God, everything that can go wrong will, right? And that's what's happening to you. And it's because you've lived down to the nub on everything. I mean, you've left yourself no margin in your schedule, and you're living for the moment. And it's nothing, I'm not shaming you. I'm just telling you how to fix this, young man. And so throw your shoulders back and let's say, I need a 5-year, a 10-year vision for my life. And what are the steps for me to get there? And you can have enjoyment along that journey as well. But in seeking enjoyment all the time, all you found is stress.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that yellow mentality happening here. And like Dave said, if you get that vision, I mean, sign up for our Building Wealth live stream and start to picture what would it be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, fully funded emergency fund. Maybe I'm starting a family. I've got money in the bank. I'm hitting my goals. And I use this moment as a never again moment where you said, never again am I going to not have the right insurance, have $400 to my name, and have nothing to show for my hard work.
Nick, we had a lady that when COVID hit, she moved to travel nursing, and she had $350,000 in student loan debt. In 12 months, she made $500,000 as a travel nurse, working 80 hours a week, every COVID thing she could get on. And yeah, there's some risk to that. I am not a medical professional. I'm just admiring that she had a vision for her life and went from deep in a hole and a mess to $500,000 12 months later. Now, she quit after that and went back, and you can't do that forever. You should burn the candle at both ends. But for 12 months, she laid it on the line because she had a vision for her life and said, I'm never going to be in this situation again. And so maybe this car wreck wakes you up, and maybe this is your time that you say never again. Or maybe you keep living like you've been living and you're going to keep getting what you've been getting, my brother. It's a reaping and sowing thing. When you plant corn, don't be shocked corn grows. That's how this life works. You're a good man, Nick. Thank you for calling in. We're honored to talk to you. We appreciate you joining us in our audience. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.